Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, you won't just start all reading. I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you for joining in. How are you doing today? I hope that you are well. I hope that the start to your day is indeed beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you enjoy the story that we have to read together. Thank you so much for joining us. Where are you joining in from? Is anybody else joining in with you? Let us know so we can say hi to them. Thank you indeed for being here. Thank you for choosing to be a part of Story Time. If you're here live, good morning to you. Thank you for joining in. Big hugs to you. And of course, if you're joining us later on for the recordings, well, thank you for still being here. Leave us a message and so we can say hi to you next time. Thank you so much for joining in. And remember too that you can always send in recommendations into Storytime. Let us know what you'd like to see and hear right here on Storytime. And I will do my very best to bring it here to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And even if we don't manage to get the permissions to read it here, we can still at least mention the title and let others know about that book, and so they can go and check it out maybe from their local library or indeed maybe their classroom. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. I hope that you are well wherever you're joining us from, whatever city, however it is. Share a little bit of what you like about your city. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. And yeah, our beautiful book today is If You Were a City. Yeah, what would you be? This one is written by KYO. Of course, KYO does bring us, or did bring us, Hello Rain, and you know that is a favorite here at Storytime. And then of course to FRANCESCA, SANNA doing the illustrations, and FRANCESCA, SANNA has done pointed minarets as well with Henna Khan. So yeah, an amazing duo here bringing us wonderful books, and they're combining today to bring us If You Were a City. Are you ready? All right, get comfortable, get cozy. We'll be right back with our story after this short break to get started. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I am glad that we are here together. And before we go to a break, remember too that Pamela Courtney on May 20th releases her new book, A Season for Fishing, a fish fry tradition. And this one is illustrated by Tony D. Chambers. Please do look out for that one. Keep an eye out. And of course, you can pre-order if you can. But also remember, you can ask your libraries to stock it. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. And a big good morning to you, Pamela Courtney, out there in Natchitoches, Louisiana. And of course, the entire family. Thank you so much for always being a big support of Storytime, and everybody that is joining us today. Yes, 5 years plus of Storytime. Welcome and have a great morning. I'll see you on the other side of this short break when we're back for our story for today. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime.
Hello, I'm Brianna Karzu, the author and illustrator of Lou, and you're watching Storytime with Mr. Limata.
Yes, welcome back. Thank you indeed, Lou from Brianna Kazoo. If you've not seen it, you know what to do. Go to your local library and grab a copy and get to enjoy, have a good laugh. And of course, too, she's brought us Greenlight as well. So if you've not seen Brianna Kazoo's works, well, What are you waiting for? Go, go, go. But after this story time, of course. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning to you, Sharon Lungo. Good morning to you, Ryan. How are you doing today? Good to hear that you're doing better. Good to see you here on Storytime. Good to see you live. And I hope that you have a wonderful day at school today. But we do have a story to read together before then. If you were a city, what would you be? What kind of city would you be? All right, let's find out what this one is all about. It is written by Francesca. It is written by KYO MCLEAR and illustrations by Francesca SANNA. Oh goodness! Well, eat a good breakfast. I hope you got a good night's rest. Remember to carry that water as well. Hydrate and and breathe. Yeah. Good luck with all the testing. Good to see you here on Storytime. Glad we can start your day in a more relaxed way before you go back into testing this later in the day. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. If You Were a City, written by KYO MCLEAR, illustrations by Francesca SANNA, and reading this one with permission of the publishers. You guessed it, yes, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. If you were a city, how would you be? What do you think? If you were a city, how would you be? Yes. Would you be bookish, proud, but slightly leaning? Where is that? Would you be bookish, proud, but slightly leaning? Would you be buzzing, bright, and magic seeming? Oh my goodness. Yeah, if you were a city, how would you be? Would you be northern, blue, glacial, and cold? Or would you be weathered, warm, playful, old? Yeah, if you were a city, how would you be? Northern, blue, glacial, cold? Weathered, warm, playful, old, or rustic, as they say. What kind of city would you be? Would you be a jewel city, a snow city, a toy city, or a float city? Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? Yeah. Would you be shiny, glassy, sleek, and tall? Or would you be wooden, squat, and nicely small? That sounds cute. That sounds good. That sounds like that's the one for me. Would you be wooden, squat, nicely small? Or would you be shiny, glassy, sleek, and tall? If you were a city, how would you be? Would you be a ghost city, a fable city, a lost city, a broken city? Oh no. Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? Yeah. Would it be a ghost city, a fable city, a lost city, a broken city? My. If you were a city, how would you be? Would you care for those from far off places? Big question, especially right now. Would you offer shelter in peaceful spaces? If you were a city, how would you be? Would you care for those from far off places? Would you offer shelter in peaceful spaces? Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? Yeah. Would you shout and swagger and no hands riding? Or secret, shaded, and story hiding? Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? Would you welcome those from far off places and offer shelter in peaceful spaces? Would you be shout and swagger and no hands riding? Or secret, shaded, and story hiding? Would you be a place for biking? With squares for dancing, eating, and flocking? Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? That does sound lovely, doesn't it? A place for biking. Yeah. Scooting, walking. With squares for dancing, eating, flocking. Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? It is nice to have those walk spaces, right? Places to bike. The squares for dancing. I think of mostly cities in Mexico with their squares for dancing and music and all of that. Eating, flocking. Yeah. If you were a city, would you be a green city, a blue city, a swirling city, a healing city? Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? A healing city, a swirling city, a blue city, or maybe a green city? Yeah. Would you have great big parks for Sunday lazing and quiet roofs for starry gazing? If you were a city, how would you be? Yeah. Would you have great big parks for Sunday lazing and quiet roofs for starry gazing? Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? Yeah. Fruit trees for easy nibbling? Basketball courts for nighttime dribbling? Yeah. Oh, those amenities so important. All our places, isn't it? Yeah. Fruit trees for easy nibbling. Maybe you're starting an orange farm. No. Or lemon farm. Basketball courts for nighttime dribbling. A wet city. A dry city. A slow city. A dream city. Yeah. What's your preference? If you were a city, how would you be? A wet city? A dry city? A slow city? A dream city? Would you thank your neighbors for all they share? Leave them room for nest and lair? Yeah. So many neighbors we have. Some four-legged, some no legs at all. Would you thank your neighbors for all they share? Leave them room for nest and lay. Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? Would you be wild, noisy, bold and daring, edgy, tough, awake and caring? Electric, greedy, hectic, free? Does that sound like your city? If you were a city, how would you be? Would it be wild, noisy, bold and daring, edgy, tough, awake and caring, electric, gritty, hectic, free? If you were a city, how would you be? Yeah, that's the question. If you were a city, how would you be? Has this given you any ideas for that dream city of yours? Aw, that is the end of our story. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope that this has set your imagination wild and definitely has you thinking on all the different things that we may look forward to the different cities, so that we should have, right? Parks, places to bike, shelters, and cities that welcome everybody, yes. If you were a city, how would you be? Definitely a question to carry with us today. This one is written by KYO, illustrations by FRANCESCA, SANNA, who also did My Friend Earth. So these illustrations look familiar. It is because they are in wonderful, wonderful books before this one. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. A big thank you, of course, to Chronicle Books for allowing us to read this one right here on Storytime. I'll see you on the other side of this very short break. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime.
This is Anika Moroz-Reese, author of The Teacher's Pet, Watch Out for Wolf, Love Sophia on the Moon, the Anna Banana chapter book series, and Hide and Don't Seek and other very scary stories. And you are watching Storytime with Mr. Limata.
Yes, indeed. Anika Moroz-Reese, creator of many wonderful books. Hide and Don't Seek, if you're looking for something a little bit scary, something to read under the covers in the dark, that is the book for you. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. Appreciate you. And of course, sending you the best of wishes in everything that you do today. I hope that it works out just the way you hope it does. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. Our book today was If You Were a City. Yeah. This one coming to us from KYO, FRANCESCA, SANNA, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I hope that you enjoyed that one. And of course, looking forward to seeing you here on Storytime tomorrow, the day after, and many, many days after that. Thank you so much for choosing to be a part of Storytime. Remember, you can always find Storytime at a time that works best for you at storytimewithmisslimata.com, at Storytime with Miss Limata, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, you can follow us on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Yes, one full of sunshine, beauty, whatever it is that you hope for. I know some places may be raining, but I hope that you love the rain, and also you get to find things that are fun no matter what the weather conditions may be. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Biggest of hugs, and I will see you again tomorrow when we're back with another exciting story. And please do send in those recommendations. Let us know if there are any stories that you'd like to see here on Storytime. Are there stories from your childhood? Are there stories from a friend? Are there stories that you've heard that we need to hear about? Well, let us know. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. Have yourselves a beautiful day. And sometimes life throws us curveballs. I hope that we're able to handle those. I hope that we can hold on to that hope of that rainbow after the storm. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. I will see you again tomorrow. Much love. Bye-bye.
Storytime with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. We'll be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Ooh, story time. Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely. Won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely. Won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.